So in this example, you have to show that this is conservative, and you also have to find this potential function for this field. So for conservative, we have to check that if this is M, this is N, and this is P, if del M by del Y equal to del N by del X, del N by del Z equal to del P by del Y, and del M by del equal to del P by del X. If all are equal, then we will say that this field F is conservative. So what is del M by del Y? So M is this one. The ith component, the derivative with respect to y will give e to the power x sin y plus z. This is the value of del M by del Y. And del N by del X, that means you have to differentiate n with respect to x partially. It will give z minus e to the power x sin y. So from here we can see that del M by del Y equal to del N by del X. Similarly, you have to check the remaining two. Yes, sin y. So similarly, you have to check that. So this is equal. Similarly, you have to check that remaining del N by del Z equal to del P by del Y and del M by del Z equal to del P by del X. If all are equal, then we will say that this field F is conservative. So that you can check. So after checking all those three criteria, it will imply that F is conservative field. And next one is that you have to find the potential function for this conservative field. So for potential function F equal to gradient of phi, so you have to calculate the phi. So gradient phi means del phi by del x I cap j cap, and this is k cap. So now I will compare this with F. So the component here, the ith component is del phi by del x. In F, the ith component is M. So comparing both sides, you will get del phi by del x equal to M, del phi by del y equal to N, and del phi by del z equal to P. So I will write M and P. M is this one, e to the power x cos y plus yz. This is value of M. N is xz minus e to the power x sin y. And P is xz xy plus z. So from these three, we have to find the value of phi. So from first, if we integrate, so integrating with respect to x, we will get the value of phi. So when we integrate this with respect to x, the integration of e to the power x will remain e to the power x cos y, and integration of yz with respect to x will give xyz, plus some constant of integration will come because we are integrating with respect to x. Then constant of integration will be function of y and z. So I am calling that constant of integration is f1 y comma z. So if we know f1 y comma z, then we will know the complete phi. Here we have to find the potential function phi. Phi is the potential function, f is the conservative field. So in order to calculate this constant f1, what we will do, we will differentiate this with respect to y and we'll put in the second equation. So we will calculate del phi by del y, and then we'll replace, that means we'll equate both the equation, del phi by del y equal to n, that is given, and now we'll differentiate here and we'll equate in order to get this value of f1 yz. So if to differentiate with respect to y, then the derivative of this with respect to y will give e to the power x, cos y will give minus sin y, and xyz with respect to y will give xz, and the derivative of f1 with respect to y will give del f1 by del y. So now on comparing both del phi by del y, what we will get? We will get minus e to the power x sin y plus xz plus del f1 by del y. This is this value, and from here we will get this one xz minus e to the power x sin y. So both are equal. So once we will get this f1, we will put in the equation number 1, we will get the value of phi. So from here this will cancel out with this, xz will cancel out this, we will get del f1 by del y equal to 0, which implies f1 is a some function of, because f1 is a function of yz. So here we are integrating with respect to y, so f1 will be function of z. Call that function as a g. So now this f1 equal to gz will put in the equation number 1. So now putting f1 in 1, we'll get the value of phi. So the target is to find the phi, that is the potential function, xyz plus f1 value is gz, that is the function of z. Now gz is again a constant of integration, so what we will do, we will again differentiate this with respect to z, and we will equate that things with del phi by del z. So del phi by del z will come here, this will be 0, with respect to z it will give xy, and the derivative of g with respect to z will give g dash z, and we will equate this value. This is the xy plus z, this is the value of del phi by del z, xy plus z. So it will cancel out, then value of g after integrating you will get the integration of z will give z square by 2 plus some constant of integration c. So now we'll put this value again in 1 and we will get, again in 2, we'll get the value of phi. So putting gz into, we'll get the value of phi is e to the power x cos y plus xyz plus z square by 2 plus c. So this is the final answer. So this f is the conservative field and phi is the potential function. Like if you have this sin x, suppose this is a f, it will give some minus.
Yes, sir.
So here we have to calculate the work done, and here the curve C is given, the point joining from this to this, point A to B, and it is also given that this field is conservative, its potential function is also given. So once the field is conservative, that definition says that it doesn't depend on path. Whatever curve you will join from A to B, you can join even straight line or any curve, the integration will remain same. So here that curve and that parameterization is not required because it is given conservative field. Then we know the integration of phi. That means it is same as the you have to integrate this from A to B, and the integration of this will come phi, and then apply the upper limit from A to B, and we'll get the answer. Even if you join any curve and you will get the same answer. So the phi is given xyz. So xyz at this point. So xyz, this is the value of phi at point minus 1. No, first we will apply the upper limit b. This one at point 1 comma 6 comma minus 4 minus xyz, and then lower limit is minus 1 3 comma 9. So this upper low limit minus lower limit, this thing we can do only when if field is conservative. So in this question this phi is given. If it is not given, then like example 2 we found this phi. You have to find the phi first. Once you will get the phi, then apply this limit. So I hope it is clear to everyone. We define line integral over scalar field. and vector field. Now we'll define the surface integral. So first we'll see what is the surface integral over a scalar field, then we will see the surface integral over a vector field. So suppose S is a smooth surface. Smooth surface means this partial derivative of this f, g, h exist and are all continuous, and this r is a parameterization of the surface, and f is a scalar field, then the surface integral of this f over this surface S is defined by this double integral f, the value at function f at this parameterization ru comma v, then norm of ru cross rv and du comma v. So depending on the limit, which limit you are applying limit of u first, then you will write du dv. If you apply the limit of v first, then you will write du. That is depending on the limit. So this, what is r? R is this range of this parameter u and v. So this is the definition of a surface integral over a scalar field. Something similar to that, the surface integral over vector field. Suppose the f is now a vector field, then the surface integral is denoted by f dot d sigma. It is same as this f at ru. Instead of this norm, it is dot of ru cross rv. So it will become some scalar, and then depending on the limit of du dv, will apply the limit. So in scalar field, here it is norm. In the vector field, it is dot product with this ru cross rv. So now we'll see the example. So the first question means whenever question will come, first you need this parameterization in order to calculate the surface integral, like we are doing in the line integral. So the question is, you have to integrate this function f over this cone. So this cone is the surface given. Over this surface you have to integrate this function. So this function is a vector or a scalar?
Scalar.
Scalar. So first we will do the parameterization of this cone. So give me some parameterization of this cone, some x value, y value, and then z value.
X
You can
is
take
R. Z is R.
okay. So I am just writing in terms of u and v. X equal to u cos v, y equal to u sin v, and if you put x and y here, then the value of z will come u square cos square v plus u square sin square v, and that will give only u. Z is like between 0 to 1. So what will be the domain of u, and what is the domain of v?
U from 0 to 1, V from 0 to 2 pi.
0 to 2 pi. So this is the limit of integration. Now in this formula, what we need ru, we need r cross rv. So that also I will calculate. So even both the here also we need this norm of this, because it is scalar. So we'll first calculate ru and rv. So what is r? R means this xi cap, yj cap, and zk cap. So x value is this one, u cos v, I cap, u sin v, j cap, and z equal to this u, k cap. So this is r u comma v. Then we'll calculate ru, that means the partial derivative of this with respect to u, and then we'll calculate the partial derivative with respect to v. So the derivative of this with respect to u will give this one, cos v, I cap, sin v, j cap, and the derivative of u with respect to u is 1, so it will give k cap. Now we'll differentiate with respect to v, we'll get rv, which will give minus u sin v, I cap, plus u cos v, j cap, and there is a no v, so it is 0. So 0 times k cap. So now we need the value of ru cross rv, the cross product of this. So what will be the cross product of ru cross rv? You have to write in the matrix form. So ij cap, k cap, and then cos v sin v 1 minus u sin v, u cos v, and 0. It will give the cross product of this two vector ru cross rv. So can anyone tell what will be the value of ru cross rv? So for I component, this one will be this cross product. It will come 0 times this sin v. So it will give minus u cos v I cap. Then for j, it will be, this is 0, the minus u sin v j cap. And for this, it will give u cos square v plus sin square v, that means u times k cap. So is it okay? So till now what I did the only parameterization of this cone. I wrote r, that is the parametric vector. Then the differentiation of r with respect to u with respect to v, and ru cross rv. Now I will use the formula of surface integration in order to integrate this function f. So I will write this. So up to this is done. So we need this norm also. So that also I will write here. Ru cross rv norm. And then the integration of f over this surface S. This is T sigma. So here we'll apply the limit of u and v, f at ru comma v, then norm of, this is from the, and then du comma v, in which order we will apply the limit, we'll write. So this is the formula for surface integral. So in this question, f is given this one, f is given this one, x square. Then what is the value of f over this r? That means the x value we'll put here. If suppose y is also there, then we'll replace y by u sin v and z by u. So f at this value. So here in f we'll put x, y, z in terms of parameter u and v. So what is the value of f at ru comma v? Because f x, y, z, it is given x square. So f at this r will be u square cos square v, that is the x square in terms of uv. So it will give u cos v square. And then norm of ru cross rv. So this one is ru cross rv. What is the norm of this? Square root of u square cos square v plus u square sin square v plus u square. That will give square root of 2u square. Square root of 2u square. This is the value of this. And then du comma dv, if I will write, then I will apply the limit of u first and then limit of v. If I will write reverse, then I have to apply the reverse order limit. So u is from this one 0 to 1 and v is from 0 to 2 pi. So these are the parametric limit here. So I am applying u from 0 to 1 and here 0 to 2 pi. Once you will integrate this, you will get the surface integral of that function over this given cone. So if you integrate, the answer will come pi root 2 by 4. So you can integrate with respect to u and then with respect to v. So that you can check yourself. So this is a f sigma. Now here in the second question, here the same cone is given, but instead of this f, it is a vector, not a scalar. Previously it was x square, but now it is a vector. So in this case, we will do again the same thing. Ru cross rv came, I will write again the same thing. I am not doing it that we already did for this cone. So the value of ru cross rv came this one, minus u cos v minus u sin v and plus u. So that I am writing here. This one I cap, j cap, and then plus u times k cap. And f at ru comma v will be, so each x, y, z will replace by uv. It will give u cos v. This is the value of x. This is u sin v, value of y, and then z value was u. This one by using parameterization of this curve, this cone, x equal to u cos v and y equal to v sin v and z equal to u. So f also I got in terms of u comma v. Now we'll use the formula for surface integral. So surface integral formula is this f dot product with this and then du comma dv. So we'll take the dot product in order to get this surface integral. So the surface integral here f dot d sigma will be the dot product of these two. So first I will write this formula, f ru comma v dot product with this ru cross rv and then du comma dv. Which order we don't know. First I will write. So what is the dot product of this with this? So what is the dot product of this f with ru cross rv?
0.
It will give u square cos square v minus sine, and this is u square sine square v. So minus u square and then plus u square. And even if you apply the limit now, limit is not required. It will give 0 only. So I'm not applying limit. The answer will come 0. Anyway, we know the limit is from 0 to 1 and another one is 0 to 2 pi.
Sir, 0 means there is no surface. Or what is that?
What? The surface
What
integral is 0.
Sir, pictorial view of 0. What is that?
Yeah, it will yes, it will represent a flux.
Yes,
So flux is 0. Now we'll go back
Yes,
to this. Yeah, this is the flux. So flux definition is f dot n d sigma. So f is a continuous vector field. So this is a vector field defined over this oriented surface S. N is a unit normal over that surface. Then the flux of this vector field f defined on this surface S by this surface integral f dot n d sigma. So if suppose S is the surface, so can you give me the formula for normal of this surface? What is the formula for unit normal?
T cross T by T dash of mono.
Yes. How to find normal to the surface? We have seen how to find the normal.
The gradient f divided by mod of
T dash by mod of no T dash.
Yes. So gradient f divided by norm of f. That is the one. If it is scalar. If it is given in the surface is suppose given in the parametric form. Suppose the parameterization is r u comma v. Suppose some parameterization is given, then what is the formula for this unit normal in that case in terms of parameterization?
Ru cross Rv upon norm of Ru cross Rv.
Right. So if it is in the parametric form, then that normal is Ru cross Rv divided by norm of this. Ru cross Rv its norm. So if you replace this here in this flux, then what will be the flux? It is surface integral f dot n means Ru cross Rv divided by norm of this, and then d sigma. So I just replace the normal formula here in place of n. So f is a vector. This Ru cross Rv is a normal vector. If you take the dot product of f with Ru cross Rv, what you will get? This whole quantity, it is written, it is a vector or a scalar. F dot Ru cross Rv divided by this norm. Norm is anyway number. This RU
Scalar.
cross RV is a vector. F is a scalar. Sorry, F is
Vector.
also vector. Then dot product of two vector will give the scalar. So it is a scalar. So once it becomes scalar d sigma, then what is the surface integral formula for scalar is? I will go back to the surface integral formula. So surface integral formula for scalar is, so if f is scalar, then surface integral formula is this norm of this into du dv. So one norm is here, FRU, this norm, and then du dv. So by using that formula, this flux will become, because this whole quantity is a scalar, so I am just calling it is a small f. So okay, I will write this here. First I will write the formula for the small f t sigma over the surface S is given by a small f at Ru comma v, then norm of Ru cross Rv, then du comma v in any order. This is the surface integral formula for scalar. So here this whole quantity is scalar. So now I will use this small f in place of here small f. So the flux will become this integral f at Ru comma v, then Ru dot product Ru cross Rv divided by this norm of Ru cross Rv, and this norm is also there, it will cancel out, and then du comma v. This will cancel out. So this is another formula for flux. So we'll use this formula in order to calculate the flux. Dot Ru cross Rv, then du comma v. So this is not some new formula. See, this flux is same as this one. I wrote here wrong, it is capital F. This is also capital F. So whenever you want to calculate the flux, either you can use this definition F dot n cap d sigma, or you can use this one F Ru dot Ru cross Rv du dv. So it is same as the surface integral over vector field. This formula F dot d sigma is same as a flux. So what I proved here, that this one is same as the flux of this surface F dot n d sigma. This is equal to this, equal to this. So for flux always use the second formula. For scalar field use this. So you have to remember only these two. For flux this one, and for scalar field the first one. So now we'll calculate or do one example of flux. So in this question, S is given the surface sphere and F is given z k cap. Compute the outward flux. That means the normal direction will be outward to the surface, not inside the surface. So whatever here I made, that is the normal direction should be outward. So if suppose this is the sphere, then normal to the surface will be outside. So this is the normal direction to the surface, this surface. So finding flux is same as finding the surface integral of this vector field. That means we will do the parameterization, we'll calculate Ru, we'll calculate Rv, then we'll calculate this function value at this Ru comma v, and then we'll do the limit of u comma v, we'll do the integration. After that we'll get this flux. So what is the parameterization of this sphere? What is parameterization of this sphere? Then only we can find Ru and Rv, and then we can find the flux also. So the parameterization of this sphere will be, because here A is given, so it will be x equal to A sin phi cos theta y equal to a sin phi sin theta and z equal to a cos phi. Theta is from 0 to 2 pi and phi is from 0 to pi. Then r will be x I cap, y j cap and z k cap. Then we'll calculate ru. This here variable is theta and phi, so this is r theta and this is r phi. So what will be the next step after that?
Cross product.
Yes, we have to take the cross product. So what will be the cross product of r theta and r phi? So this r theta and r phi, this cross product will give the normal. Like yes, here. So this is the unit normal, but this ru cross rv is the normal. So if divided by norm, it become unit normal. So it will give the normal direction. So that we have to see that, because in this question it is given outward flux. That means we have to see that this normal direction is outside or not. That only thing you have to take care in this. So the definition is said that it is in the direction of n cap. So if it is outward, that means we have to take the norm. In the question it is written outward. If it is not written, you can use any flux like outward or inward flux. But here it is given that asked that you have to find outward normal. So let us calculate this normal direction. This is normal direction. If you divide by its norm, you will get unit normal. So what is the cross product of r theta and r phi? So we'll calculate this cross product. So for cross product, and okay, so we'll write here I, j and k, then minus a sin phi cos theta, then a sin phi cos theta, and then 0. Then for r phi, it is a cos phi cos theta, a cos phi sin theta, minus a sin phi. So this determinant will give the cross product. So what will come the ith component? This multiply by this will give minus a square sin square phi cos theta. This is the ith component. Plus jth component will give this, multiply by this will give plus, because of j it is minus a square sin square phi cos theta. And the k component will come, this is jth component, plus it will give minus a square sin phi cos theta sin theta. Here it will give sin phi cos phi. I think I wrote something wrong. This one is sin theta, this component. So this will also change here. For j it will be sin theta here, and this will give sin phi cos phi. This is also give sin phi cos phi. That means a square sin phi cos phi k cap. So the surface integral or the flux in this case will be, the flux will be f dot n d sigma is same as the value of f at this ru comma v dot product with ru cross rv, and then du comma v depending on the domain order. So So RU cross RV in the outward direction or in inward direction? Like this is the normal to the sphere, in which direction? Outward or inward? So that we have to verify. So just I will take one point on the sphere in order to see this normal direction, in which direction. So suppose this is the sphere and I chosen this point A, 0, 0. This is the center. So at A, 0, 0, what is the value of phi and what is the value of theta at this point? What is the value of theta and what is the value of phi?
So phi 90 degree.
Yes, phi is 90 degree. Phi is the angle from the z-axis. So if this is x-axis, this one is the y-axis, this is z-axis, then this phi is the angle from this point. This A, 0 means this line. Angle from z-axis will come 90 degree. Phi means this rotation. Theta means this rotation. At this point, theta is 0. So once we'll put this here in the normal, then what will come? Theta equal to 0 if you put, cos 0 is 1, sin 90 is 1, it will give minus a square I cap. Here also sin 91, sin 0 is 0, it will give 0 j cap. And here if you put here sin phi cos 90 is 0, it will give 0 k cap. So the direction of normal at this point will be in the reverse direction. This side is positive axis, it is in the reverse direction, this side. But we have to take in the opposite direction. That means normal should be like this, outward normal. So that means we have to reverse this sign because it is inside the center, means inward the center, not the outside. So here what we will do, we'll take this plus value because it is outward flux. If it is inward flux, then this is okay. So with this value, we'll do this integration in order to calculate the value of flux. So this minus will not take, we'll take this plus symbol, and then f dot n d sigma will be the value of function. This dot product, this and this dot product with this positive sign, if you take, you will get this one, and then apply limit of d phi and d theta. Phi is from 0 to pi and theta is from 0 to 2 pi. And after the integration, you will get the value 4 pi a cube by 3. So in this flux only you have to remember that which direction is the normal. You can, so that's why to check that which direction, I took one point A, 0, 0, and based on that point I concluded this is the normal at this point and it is inside this reverse direction, not in the outside. So we have to take always outside the outward normal.
Sir, how you verify that? At that A, 0, 0?
A, 0, 0, at this point the value of theta is 0 and the value of phi is pi by 2. So I put this theta equal to 0 and pi by 2 at this point in order to, this is the normal at any phi theta. Like if you want to calculate normal here, then find phi and theta here, put it here, you will get the normal at that point. So for theta equal to 0 and phi equal to pi by 2. Why phi equal to pi by 2? Because phi is the angle from z-axis. So z-axis at this x-axis angle is pi by 2. So that's why phi is pi by 2. And if you put here, you will get the value here minus a square I cap, 0 j and 0 k cap. So this is in the outside, inward direction to this sphere. It is not the outward direction. So that's why we have to make this sign as a plus. Making means like you are taking this r phi cross r theta, not r theta cross r phi. It is same as someone calling this as a theta u and this is v, r u comma v. Suppose someone will reverse the order, v as a u and u as a v, and if you calculate ru cross rv, then your normal direction only will change, but the vector will not change. After putting this normal, you will get this. So the next one is the Green's theorem. So far what we have seen how to calculate the line integral and how to calculate the surface integral by using the parameterization of curve and parameterization of the surface. So we have one line integral, how to calculate we have seen, and surface integral. That is the integration over surface, this is the integration over curve. So the question is that what is the relation between these two, and this line integral is, you know, double and triple integral, how it is related to this, and this surface integral, how it will related to the triple integral. So these three questions we will answer, and then your syllabus will finish. So these are the last three topics. One is what is the relation of line integral with this double integral, what is the relation of surface integral with this triple integral, and the last one is what is the relation between line integral and surface integral. So this is given by Stokes, that is called Stokes theorem. This one is given by Green's, so it is Green's theorem, and this one is the Gauss, so Gauss divergence theorem. So line integral means in only single integral over curve, here it is double integral over surface. So one integral and here double integral. Here also same line integral is the single integral, double means double. Here it is double, then it is triple. So we cannot do like line integral to triple integral. So these three questions we will answer. So first is what is the relation of line integral with double integral, that is called Green's theorem. That means three theorem we will see. So this is the statement of Green's theorem. Suppose C is a piecewise smooth closed curve. So curve must be closed. So here the line integral, we have seen the different form of the line integral. You can write it f dot dr or any form, all are same. And this circle represent it is a closed curve, not the normal curve. So if some curve is closed, suppose C is the closed curve. So this is the picture of suppose C. So this is the closed curve C. So it is piecewise smooth. Even if you take one part also, it be smooth. Even in overall it is not smooth. Smooth means its partial derivative exists. If you do the parameterization of that curve, its component, its partial derivative will exist and continuous. That is the meaning of piecewise smooth only. Closed means the starting point and end point will be same. Simple means this curve will not intersect itself. Like this curve is, should not be like this. This is also closed curve. Starting and end point both are same, but it is intersecting itself. So simple means the curve should not be intersect itself. So that is the meaning of simple. Then the region enclosed by this curve, because it is closed curve, so whatever region will come, that I am calling as R. The region enclosed by this curve is R. And if f is a vector field, then the line integral of f, that means there are f dot tds you can write, even you can write this as a f dot dr. These all are line integral, r are equal. These all three are equal. We have seen, even we have seen the all five forms are same. Then line integral is same as this double integral, and here the double integral over this region R. So this is the relation between line integral and the double integral. So line integral of this function m I cap, this is in the plane, so that's why two dimension vector field m and n, j component is not there. So the line integral f dot dr or f dot tds all are same, or m dx plus n dy all are same. This is same as the integration double integral over this region R, del n by del x minus del m by del y dx dy. That is called Green's theorem. So if any line integral is given, that same line integral you can calculate by this double integration. So we'll do one question. The question is here, we have to verify this Green's theorem for this function, this for this vector field over the region R bounded by this unit circle. So region is given bounded by this unit circle, and also here the question is you have to calculate the flux also, that we will see later by using Green's theorem. So Green's theorem will give the relation of line integral to this double integral. So verifying Green's theorem means for the same function you have to show that left hand side is equal to right hand side. And the next question is we have to find the flux using Green's theorem. So we'll do one by one. So we'll calculate first the left hand side m dx plus n dy, and then we'll see right hand side. Both should give the same answer. So left hand side, the LHS, the integral of this f dot dr, it is same as m dx plus n dy over this curve C. So this f dot dr is same as this. We have seen the 5 different form of line integral. So first I will calculate the left hand side, this line integral. You know how to calculate the line integral, and then we will see the double integral. Both will give the same answer. So what is the value of m in this question? And what is the value of n?
X minus y
M equal to x minus y, n equal to x. And this right hand side we need del n by del x and del m by del y. So that also I am calculating here, because we need this del m by del y and del n by del x. So what is the del n by del x? It will give 1, and del m by del y is minus 1. So we have to show that this both will have equal value. This is over region R. I am just replacing this value here. Del n by del x is 1. This is minus 1. So 1 and minus 1 difference is 2. It will give 2 times dx dy. 2 dx dy. So I will show this integration and this line integral. Both are same. If both are same, then that means the Green's theorem is true. For this, you have to verify the Green's theorem. So how to calculate the line integral? So here, what is the curve C? Curve C is this unit circle. This region R is bounded by this curve C unit circle. So C means unit circle x square plus y square equal to 1. So what is the parameterization of this? X equal to something cos t, y equal to sin t, and t is from 0 to 2 pi. It is a closed curve or not? This circle.
Yes, sir.
And the region bounded by this circle will be R. R means that inside the circle. That means the disk x square plus y square is less or equal to 1. So this R means x square plus y square is less or equal to 1. So in this region we have to calculate this double integral, and then we have to calculate the line integral. If both are same, then our claim will be this Green's theorem is satisfied. So x equal to cos t, this is the parameterization of this unit circle, t from 0 to pi, m is x minus y. So we'll replace x equal to cos t, y equal to sin t, that is cos t minus sin t, n equal to x. So it is x equal to cos t, so it is cos t, del m by del y is minus 1, del n by del x is 1. So if we replace those value, then what will come? M dx plus n dy, line integral. This is t from 0 to 2 pi, this is m. X equal to cos t, then what is the value of dx? Minus sin t dt plus n. N value is here, n value is cos t, and dy equal to also will give cos t dt. So it will become cos square t dt. And then multiply cos t with minus sin t will give minus sin t cos t, and this will give sin square t plus cos square t is equal to 1. Now you have to integrate this with respect to t. So integration of this minus sin t into cos t, you convert into sin 2t. Apply the limit, you will get 0. The integration of 1 from 0 to 2 pi will give 2 pi. So this line integral value becomes 2 pi. Now we'll do the right hand side. This one came 1, this one came minus 1. So it is 2 dx dy, and we have to calculate this. So we'll see this one. You have to integrate this 2 dx dy over this region. So the question is, what will be the limit? What will be the limit of x and what will be the limit of y over this circle? So this is the circle x square plus y square equal to 1. This is the region R. So what will be the limit of x and what will be the limit of y? Can anyone tell? You can take horizontal strip, you can take even vertical strip, whatever strip you want, you can take. So if you take, suppose, this vertical strip, then what is the limit from y? Y will start from this circle and it will go up to here. So what is the limit of y?
minus root 1 minus x square
root over
plus root 1
1
minus x
minus
square.
y, 1 minus x square. This is the value of y. 1 minus x square, it will go up to plus 1 minus x square. This is the
Yes.
limit of y. And then what will be the limit of x? X is from where to where? This whole circle will cover. This is minus 1 and this is plus 1.
Minus 1
So
to 1.
minus 1 to plus 1. If you integrate, you will get the same answer, 2 pi. This is the one way. Another one is you can convert this into the polar form. So polar form, it will come some Jacobian dr d theta or d theta dr. Jacobian will come r, and theta value is from 0 to 2 pi, and r value is from 0 to 1 because it is unit circle. So like that also you can do. You will get the same answer.